Culture is not something that it's written on paper. It's about who you promote and who you demote. When you deal with something that probably you've never thought that you can deal with that, but because of the experience, because of, doing stuff, you just know that you can handle also something bigger. Or if you really want to convey the message, do stuff, you will do it no matter whether it's remotely done via Teams or whether you do it in person.
Welcome to the HeRoe.s podcast, a podcast dedicated to those who aspire to excel in HR profession as well as individuals who want to understand the Romanian job market and professional trends. Today, I'm delighted to have Magdalena Stalewska-Davi alongside me. She is Head of People&Culture at UniCredit SpA Romania. With over 20 years of experience in the field of human resources, she continues to expand her knowledge and skills in various aspects, working for financial institutions in Poland, Italy, and Romania, which are members of the UniCredit group. Her remarkable abilities shine in managing soft HR areas, including recruitment, assessment, training, skills mapping, talent development, mentoring, and coaching. However, she is deeply motivated by the complex challenges of HR business partnering and constantly seeks to step out of her comfort zone, believing it to be the only way to grow. One of the guiding principles for her is work hard and be kind to people. Magda, please tell us more about this event.
Okay, so Culture Day, it's something that has been established, I think, 2 years ago in my company. And I think the main, of course, purpose of this is really to make people aware about the values, about what we are really, standing for. And of course, try not to have it just written on a paper, on walls, on various manifestos. It's more really to make people aware what we are carrying. And this is integrity, ownership, and caring. So those are our three main values. And I do believe that we are not standing just there, meaning that it's not just on paper. It's really by living every day. Because of course, I think everybody is aware that if it's just,
just event from time to time, and so
yeah, of course it doesn't work. In fact, I like to recall this article that I was reading some time ago. It is about I don't know if you've heard about Enron, the company that collapsed basically I think 2004 due to the fact that in fact they were kind of, not showing really the real results, and they were collaborating with Arthur Anderson, and they collapsed both at that time. And in fact, what I recall is that they had integrity also in their values and ownership. And again, I'm bringing this example just to show that it cannot stay just on paper. It has to be, on every day, in every activity, and only at that time it works. And especially it should be lived by our managers who are, like it or not, they are role models. And it's natural that when people look at them, they will stand for this, and they will repeat the behavior if it's the right one. So yeah, that would be it. And what we did particularly on that day, in fact, we also designed some workshops in order to make people reflect on how they really lived values and bring examples, what are their role models, and how they copy those behaviors into their lives. As somebody said also very wisely, culture is not something that it's written on paper. It's about who you promote and who you demote. Because of that, in fact, because we are keeping repeating, and we look at the role models, and unless they are the right ones, people will copy also the behaviors that maybe are not the most desired. So pay attention to who you promote and who you demote, that's for sure.
And people are very careful and look very careful on their managers. And no matter what do you write it on the walls, on the paper, but if their managers doesn't have a good behavior, they will do the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Magda, for sharing insights about Culture Day at UniCredit. Now we'd love to shift the focus to you and learn more about your experiences and insights. Could you kindly introduce yourself, sharing details about your background and role?
In a nutshell, in this group, so UniCredit, for the last 20 years, in fact, just a few days ago, I should celebrate the anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
And of course, I may seem like, like kind of a dinosaur still surviving, but I still keep repeating this, in fact, story that 20 years in 3 different countries, in 11 different roles, just to show that this is also a way on how you can build your career. And I also keep repeating that I've never thought about some specific steps or positions I would like to reach. So I would never probably pass any test on talents, because very often we are asking them, what is the next step you wanna take. In my case, it's mostly they have been always open to the new opportunities when they were coming. So if somebody was asking me, would you consider this? It's something that fits you. Would you move to another country? Of course, I was somehow realizing and analyzing pros and cons. And in the end, here I am in Romania for the last 2 years, leading People&Culture team for UniCredit here locally. And again, it's just a matter of gathering experience and saying yes to some things that were happening along the way. Again, I know that this is, I keep saying this story because I think it's just one of the ways how you can reach some positions. Some other people, of course, are planning, are more disciplined in reaching some goals. I'm not. I'm the more crazy, spontaneous one, just taking the opportunities and being open for them and trying to do my best out of it.
And what are you doing day by day in terms of being spontaneous?
I can share what I've done today, maybe. So
yes, please.
Just so today we had like onboarding day, so for the new employees, and we've changed the welcoming mode some months ago. So basically, we are just meeting people in person. So or our employees, new ones, we are meeting them with business leaders, PA and C, our branch manager, just to tell them a little bit the story of who we are, what we are doing, that we are humans, that we are somebody that you can drop a line, you can ask for a coffee. We're also having this as initiatives. Various leaders in various structures are also having this as an opportunity to gather and have a chat. So that was it. I had also some meetings with, in fact, my branch manager, just to align what's going on. I had some meetings with a potential talent just a while ago before coming here. So for the program that we are running in the company, I had a meeting also with trade unions, just to, again, share what's happening, what are the main decisions that have been taken, and we are always trying to share and engage. So yes, that would be in a nutshell. I had a meeting with my people regarding the recruitment status. So it's all this every day, very different, very often unexpected, meaning that I think it's also natural that sometimes we have a list, what we would like to do on a certain day, and then in the end we do something different. My reality for sure, because we are dealing with people and unexpected happens. So yeah.
What I hear from you, it's that do you have a very busy day and with a diversity of activities.
That's why I'm here for the 20 last years, I guess. This is absolutely something that feeds or fuels my energy, the unexpected and again, this is something how we learn when you deal with something that probably you've never thought that you can deal with that, but because of the experience, because of doing stuff, you just know that you can handle also something bigger or more difficult.
And because you are open and let yourself to explore.
I would say so.
What are some challenges you faced that have motivated you to contribute to the success of this company?
When I came here, I mean, of course, I will refer to something that is more practical and I feel because it's fresh. So basically, when I came here in Romania, one of the tasks why I was appointed and asked to come was, in fact, to bring a little bit closer HR to the colleagues, I mean, in HR world. And again, as I keep repeating, of course, HR should be driven by numbers because, of course, that's something that helps us to make decisions, analyzing various data regarding, whatever, overtime, absenteeism of people, turnover. So all those are in place and are super important. But what I believe is that my structure especially should drive the personal growth, which I like to call, we should invest more in human skills, because I believe no matter in which role you are, no matter what job you are doing, the higher you go, and again, this is not from me, this is from Marshall Goldsmith, very famous coach, that he's saying the higher you go, the more problematic are your behaviors. How you deal with people, how you convey the messages, how you embrace feedback, how you share feedback, how you deal with conflicts. So it's all about this, and no matter what job you are doing, this will happen and you will have to face it. That's why I keep investing in this, and in fact, we are right now finalizing so-called Learning Month. So that was a simple initiative that we designed, of course, together with my colleagues, to promote various human skills, which is motivation, confidence, how to listen better, how to establish trustful relationships, how to deal with failure, how to speak up and present, so meaning public speaking. So those are various topics that my colleagues from my P&C world have chosen as something that they know and they would like to share. And we are doing the workshops with our colleagues on voluntary basis. And what I keep observing and experiencing is that it gives, apart from the knowledge we are offering, it's workshops. So basically, of course, we are working with our experiences, what we bring as P&C, People and Culture, but also what are the thoughts, observations, experiences of the participants. And it's amazing opportunity also to connect for the people, because again, I know that we will discuss it also later on. We are working in a hybrid mode, as many companies here in Romania and across the world. And I think in the end, what really matters is that we are able to connect one to another. And this is what we are trying to do also with this initiative.
Interesting one. How can leaders and managers foster unity in multicultural teams?
I tend to think that, of course, there are differences. We were born in different countries. We were experienced various, modality, how our parents were growing us, what were the role models. So, of course, we were different. And I think I will never stop saying that we should be very attentive to listen to the others and embracing this diversity. I know that it can sound cliche, but in the end, unless we are able, in fact, to embrace this diversity and help people to, really bring their strengths on board and exercise what's the best in them, I think this is the way how we can really embrace this multicultural diversity. I was just looking today, there was this video that was shared by our colleagues from Italy, where is the main, let's say, headquarter of the company. And in fact, of course, this company is giving you a lot of opportunities to deal with people from different countries. We are based in, Germany, Italy, Austria, Central Europe and Eastern Europe, like Romania, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary. So, of course, we deal on a daily basis in projects, in daily activities with people from all those countries. So I think once you are able to how can I say, be grateful for those elements that people are bringing. And in fact, this is still, I think, our main strength, that we are so different, and nevertheless, we are able to leverage, various backgrounds and various educational levels and various initiatives all together. But it's not easy, of course, because we are running after deadlines, projects, releases, whatever it is. And this time to really reflect and think about what is so great that we can really bring and constantly, I think, reshuffle it's something that we are missing time, but that's why we are here.
In the context of a global company, what should a leader or manager do in creating a multicultural team that includes members who speak different languages?
I will just tell you from my experience here that I was very surprised that basically English is definitely the language that is the corporate language, and that people really do speak and understand, meaning that I'm the only expat here. And nevertheless, no matter what kind of event we are doing, people are absolutely super fluent in English. Okay, some of them are their preferred languages or Italian or German, because we are also hiring for those skills. So I think, language barrier, it's not the issue. At least this is what I'm experiencing here in Bucharest and Iași, where we are based. I think what matters most is still if you are able to understand and communicate. But I'm not referring only to language skills. I'm more referring to there is a different human beings on the other side. Are you able to embrace all this? But again, to my great surprise, you Romanian guys are, really mastering so many languages. And in my company, English is the one that it's not an obstacle. So I can really freely discuss whatever topic I have. And definitely it's important. But I keep also repeating that in the end, again, communication skills, it's something that no matter what you do, what job you're doing, it's gonna be something that you will always have to master and invest.
It's a must.
No matter, I was just, the other day we were at Dev Talks, and they were, Dev Talks, it's a huge festival for IT companies and IT gurus. And I was just laughing that some of the presentations, of course, from the technical point of view, were, very, full of content. But unless you are able to really, speak about it in a way that people will follow, you will capture their attention, you will gather their interest, which means to me very often tell a story, which again, it's nothing new, but still we need to work on it, meaning everybody knows that we are wired for stories, right? I've heard it like a million times. But then when it comes to really telling a story about your IT stuff, or technical stuff, I know it's not easy, but unless you are able to still cope with or mingle between technical skills and being able to convey the message, you will lose the audience. So I think this is something that I will never stop investing and highlighting that it's something that really matters.
And no matter what kind of languages do you speak, it's available in each languages. As someone with extensive experience, we're interested in hearing your take on the major opportunities that have arisen in HR and L&D as a result of the pandemic.
I will tell you just, again, our experience, what we are doing with the team I'm working. I think it's, again, if you really want to convey the message, do stuff, you will do it no matter whether it's remotely done via Teams or whether you do it in person. But again, what really I understood is that, of course, during the pandemic times, we were doing onboarding online, we were doing, trainings online. I think we still do a lot of things because we are based in various locations, so a lot of trainings we are doing still online, just to reach, of course, the bigger audience. We are having really beautiful initiative run by Christy Chiribiu, our branch manager, open dialogue with all the colleagues. And of course, when the pandemic hit, we were doing it fully online. Now we are moving it into the hybrid mode, meaning that still we are in person. And I think it has totally different impact when you can really discuss with the audience in presence. And I think it's exactly the same face to face, yes. And I think it's exactly the same when it comes to the trainings or workshops, or we are having also some initiatives like mentoring. We have also special initiative for females. It's totally different connection, the moment that you are, and again, it's something that it's really chemical, because this is something that I learned over the years, that when you meet with the people, the connection, the kindness, the sharing,
the
energy, and really this is chemical. Oxytocin is produced, so you cannot really repeat it.
It's science,
just totally online. It's science, right? It's chemical. And I was, in fact, in DevTalks, I was also participating in some discussion, and there were other companies, big players on the market, and they were saying exactly the same. We will go for hybrid mode, and I think this is the one that is really winning. So they were giving an example that, of course, we were also building some teams during the pandemic time, fully online, but you cannot really repeat the same level of understanding, connection, relying on others unless you also meet the person in person. It is not easy, and I don't know who mastered this fully online. That's why I keep saying that nomads that went, working from beaches, they will be coming back. I'm pretty sure sooner or later. It's fun for some period.
But it's not sustainable.
I think over the time, it is not. I will give you just an example, which, again, it's something that really touches me, and again, it's based on research. It's a speech from Robert Waldinger. It's a Harvard professor who was, I think, 4th or 5th coordinator of a project titled "What Makes a Good Life?" And basically, so they were looking at the people from 1938. About 700 men were assessed over their lifespan. So, of course, he was the 4th manager or director of this research. And so they were observing those people through scanning their brains, doing analysis of blood, cholesterol, interviewing them. Some of them are still alive, I think around 60s.
A lot of data there.
Yes, and so they were trying to understand really what is the element that forecasts that those people are healthy and happy at the end of their life, or at least in the middle of the life. What is the element that will forecast that they will be better off at the when they will be getting older? And what was also important to stress in this research that 38, it's because it's basically they've chosen people from Boston, so from poor neighborhoods, and they've chosen also people who were still from this area, but they were finishing, in fact, Harvard College. So just to have the comparison of people well-heeled and people really from poor neighborhoods, just to understand if the fact that you were born in a rich or better off family, if it really forecasts how well you are doing later on. And what they discovered is that what really makes a difference over your lifespan is relations. And I would say, that's so easy. And then
it's not.
And it's also so difficult, because what he was saying is that relationships are helping us really to, having somebody that you can rely on, that you can count on when you are in troubles, when you are sick. This is something that really, he was saying that there were people who were in their 50s and they were satisfied in their relations. They were much healthier in their 80s because, in fact, they had somebody who they could count on, basically. They had somebody that they could really, rely on, discuss. And he was also mentioning that sometimes, good relationship doesn't mean that you have to be married. It can be your friend.
Yes.
It can be somebody from the community. It hopefully should be also somebody from, you married. You said, I will love you forever. And in fact, what he was saying, sometimes you can be lonely in a crowd and you can be lonely in a marriage. So again, highlighting that sometimes it's better to be divorced and start once again and have somebody to rely on, not from the closest relationship. So easy and so difficult. But again, I relate to this a lot because I do sense, try to think about also our lives, busy schedules, various things that are, rushing us to deliver, to, bring things or make things happen. And then think about also your private life. When you are coming back home to your husband, to your partner, do you really have a lot of quality time with them? Because my experience is that it's very easy to miss this. And, just discussing with your husband about, what will you cook, or, if kids did the homework, it's not the discussion, it's not the conversation. I think you need to get deeper.
The deep one.
Yeah. So you need to stop and
go there.
and go there, right? Again, I'm related to marriage because I'm married as well, and I was, looking at myself, how much time, good quality time I'm devoting to my family, and I know that it's not easy when you have a busy schedule and various goals to reach, and some personal hobbies or passions, and to put this all together, it's never easy. But then I really try, after this research, I try to sit and think, all right, am I on the right track? Because I want to be in my 50s with a satisfied relationship to be healthier in my 80s. And, it sounds egoistic, but it takes time and courage and devotion and discipline and time and all this. So, yeah, I keep saying this because it's easy to lose the track. And it's super important.
Yeah. Very nice. And very deep.
And very, again, sounds a little bit like cliche, right? But in the end, if you really think, I remember when I joined my company and I met one lady who was like a few years older than I was, and she was divorcing. And I was like, oh my goodness, the 2 kids, they are just, look, perfect family. And in fact, what she said is that she stopped investing in this relationship. She used, I called it like a cheap metaphor, because she said, I stopped putting the wood into my fire, in the family fire. But in the end, she was super right. This is about putting a piece of wood every day in your fire. There is no other way that you can, grow together for, 50, 60, God knows how many years, unless you invest every day. And yeah.
It's like in business, it's like everywhere. You need to invest, you need to put some efforts, do some actions, otherwise...
Yeah. But again, the tricky part is that, don't dedicate all your wood to one part only, right? Try to balance and, shift the wood pieces, between the different fires. That's the tricky part.
Yeah, it is. As remote work continues to gain popularity worldwide, we'd love to hear your thoughts on its benefits.
I think I will use a quote because in this, I was educating myself a little bit, because as you hear, I'm, very relatable. I love to invest in relations, and I think this is all my job about. And I'm not a big fan of full remote work, meaning that it doesn't work for me. And I know that research is showing that it doesn't work for many people. But again, it has, of course, its benefits as well. And as Adam Grant said, being in the office is a double-edged sword. Data, when our colleagues sit nearby, we get more feedback. That boosts learning and retention among junior people, but it reduces productivity for senior people. We need time together and time apart. And I think this is something that it's, again, it's Adam Grant is normally basing his statements on deep research, and I think it's very, very true. Meaning, of course, we will need those moments when we can connect, when we can share, give instructions, when, especially for junior colleagues or somebody who is not maybe junior but is entering the company. So being in the office and getting the insights from people around, of course, it will help you to enter into the new role much faster. But of course, it also reduces your productivity if you keep, in all this. So that's why I keep saying that there are a lot of benefits, of course, for this, meaning for working remote. Of course, if I have to work on something that needs attention and focus, and I would love to be not disturbed for 1 hour or 2, I would prefer to stay at home and do it there. But if I need to, share, brainstorm, get some feedback, it's shorter. And again, this example of, you go for a coffee with somebody, you meet somebody on the corridor and make decision on the corridor. It happens, really. It's reality that because sometimes we are just, because of the energy, knowledge sharing, we are coming with some decisions much quicker than sitting separated in various rooms all over Romania or wherever we are. So I think it's, again, as Adam Grant said, two swords, meaning that you need to balance this.
Yes, of course, like everything. From your standpoint, are there any downsides or negative aspects that you faced?
I mean, we were trying also to pilot some full remote, because again, my company is going into the hybrid mode, meaning this is what we officially have as as something that the group is also requesting, that we have like 2 days from home and 3 days from the office.
Okay.
So this is the preferred and officially approved approach. And we tried also with some, especially senior colleagues, to hire them fully remotely, and a lot of them also left after a few months. So I would say this is not very successful pilot. And that's why I keep also saying that you need this moment of connection. But again, I can also imagine that it works for some specific, and this is what we are doing, for some specific technical niche skills, especially for senior colleagues. We are open to, of course, to hire them from Romania fully remotely. And let's see. But again, a few examples that we had, it was not very, very successful. So probably again for the fact that you cannot really connect well and leave the values, and I keep also repeating this, that sometimes, fully detached. I think it was also the example of somebody from my office that they were saying that now I have to come back home and speak with the people, and I find it difficult. I'm a little bit, scared after 2 years of sitting alone at home, or partially just coming. This, speaking up in front of the others makes me uncomfortable, makes me scared, and again, I relate to this, that you need to practice this as well. And of course, it's different that if you have to speak in front of the others, sitting in the comfy chair, right, at home. And of course, it's different if you have to speak up in front of the people in a physical presence. So it's definitely a matter of exercising, and we should do it.
Yeah, and if you work only remote, it's more difficult to work on culture. Like your events, like this culture day and so on. It's impossible to do it remote. It's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, you don't experience just, of course, we can say, look, we have promoted somebody, but, you don't see this person in action. You don't see, all those elements of verbal, non-verbal communication, of various behaviors, so of course, it's not the same. And again, let's see. I'm a little bit scared again about those people that prefer work remotely only, because again, maybe they are still, I wish that they are in a happy relationships, that they have somebody they can count on. But again, as research was showing, it doesn't have to be your mother, your sister, it can be it. And sometimes, you relate with somebody who is not your closest relative the best, right? So that's why I'm just saying that, again, very often we are getting into the burnout, depressions, not even realizing that. And I hope that if you are coming to the office, to the people, relate with them, it's also much quicker that somebody can observe, maybe something you can discuss, you can have a different. So again, I'm not expert in that, but I have the feeling like come and share and be among the others, because this is in the end what we were created for, right? We are a crowd. How do you say? We prefer to be surrounded by the others. Again, and I don't want to neglect the whole population of introverts, because I am that diagnosed one, and I still believe that introverts are bringing a lot of value, and they need time with their books. They need their time, in silence. They don't, maybe enjoy that much, being surrounded by people. And let them be, but still those moments of connection and relations, I think it's something that we should care, and as a company also provide the framework for that, and try to encourage people to still see it as valuable way of working.
How does HR contribute to the overall success of a company by effectively addressing turnover?
Of course, it's something that I think it's one of the major KPI of many people and culture managers, and it's something that, of course, we are monitoring on a monthly basis, if not more often. And again, definitely it's something that cannot be neglected. So again, I don't know if there is any healthy turnover rate. I mean, I've heard that it's around 8-10% when people are, shifting to this extent. This is something that it's perceived as a good one. And I'm proud to say that we managed to lower the turnover like from double digit to 1 digit only, which is definitely thanks to various investments, also financial ones, considering that, of course, in Romania we had also huge inflation rate, and we still have a pretty high one. So definitely it was the investment last year we did in the company, also during the negotiations with the trade unions. So definitely it's something that we try to address, and it's something that I'm particularly proud of. So this is definitely related with the financial injection, nothing to hide. But I think it's not the only thing that counts. And here I refer always to Daniel Pink and his. So he wrote a very beautiful book many years ago, Drive, about what motivates us. And in fact, he's always saying that we shouldn't be really motivated by the bonuses. In fact, I do this with my various participants in various workshops. I keep asking them, so when you are doing some jobs, some projects, do you really think about the bonus you will get afterwards? Normally the answer is always no. But of course, if I ask them, but if we would stop paying bonuses, what would be the reaction? Everybody would be very angry, of course. Because this is how we were programmed, I would say, over the last years. But what Daniel Pink is saying is that this is not really something that counts the most, meaning that once the salary topic is out of the table, so meaning that we are satisfied, saturated with this, what really counts, there are 3 elements that he's mentioning. First, it's autonomy, so that we have the possibility to do our job the way we believe it's the right one, or it's we have simply the space to, to control and guide ourselves. Then there is mastery, so we are able to sharpen your skills. So you have the perception like when you started something, your skills maybe were, not so solid. And then after you finish the project, okay, now I can say, well, I'm strong in this or that. And then the purpose, meaning the third element is that you really know that you are contributing to something bigger than you are. And I truly believe that this is something that we should think, even if the task sometimes it's not maybe the most sophisticated one, but I'm always trying to think about it, okay, what is egoistically in it for me? And I think it's also, pretty healthy approach, no matter what job you are doing, again, whether you will have this, again, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And I think this is something that really helps people also to stay in the company. Just, yes, of course, pay them well, but also give them space to exercise all those elements, to do something that they are proud of, that they really, improve the skills, that they have the power to, influence things. And as somebody also said, it's not only about the projects we are delivering. In all this, we should also care about that people are really growing personally. Right? Because of course we are here, we are in the company for, professional goals, but in the end, it's also a way how you grow personally. I hope I answered the question.
And if you grow like a person, you grow professional too. It's the same.
They are all connected. There is no other way. Yeah, I have also, something that really, again, speaks to me, because it was, again, my personal experience that I was working for many years in Italy, being an expat there. And I remember that at a certain point, in fact, I went to some conference and I was really tired because, we had a lot of projects, jobs, and I had really the feeling like I'm not investing in anything for myself, meaning that I was not going to the cinema, I was not going to the theater, I was not doing sport, I was hardly meeting some people, outside my working, zone.
I know.
And I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I feel so empty in the end. And then I met this, it was kind of a conference, and the lady said the following, that what really makes a difference at work, it's not what you do at work, but what you do outside. Meaning all those people you meet, shows you are watching, fields you can get this knowledge, inspiration from books you read, sport you are doing, those elements that make you different at work. Because if we stay all together for 12 hours per day, whatever, 8 hopefully we are just becoming similar, right? But if I bring something from outside, then it's gonna be more colorful and vivid, and this is something that I realized that, oh my goodness, this is my strength. Meaning that I'm different than you are, because I was born in Poland, grew up with my grandma on holiday period in the village. I know a lot of stuff from this perspective. I think it enriches me, and I think it gives me a lot of insights from this moment. I'm singing, I took improvisations lessons, I'm practicing yoga. All those elements make me different from you. And I want to use this at work as well, because I know that this is something that makes me a better professional. And today we had this onboarding, and in fact, a lot of people were saying, I'm reading, I'm practicing sport, and I was just, thanks God, because those are the elements that really keep you alive and flourishing, and not to mention that sport is good for your brain and delays also some neuro problems, and makes you again chemicals, so all the serotonin, endorphins coming to you thanks to the activities you are doing. All together just makes you a better human and
who you are,
a better person at work.
How do you, as an HR professional, ensure that your ideas are heard and approved by the business?
I don't know. I have this very, I think, simple recipe that works for me. I believe in barters, meaning that if I am able to fulfill some of the needs of the business, then they will be more prone to listen to me. So it's like, give and take. I don't know how to say it. And of course, you need to gain their trust. You need to, I think, again, speak in person, meaning that and prove that you are, having value. And those are the, small elements of every day. It's the same, like somebody said that for trust, you need to practice and prove it every day. And one moment that you do something against and the trust is, undermined, then you need to start building it again. And again,
it's harder.
And it's even harder because maybe it's not gonna work ever again. So I think in the end, it's a constant effort of something that you deliver, and then you can gain more recognition.
And being at the same standard.
Again, I have different, because of course we are a global company, so of course a lot of decisions are coming from our headquarters, and sometimes they are not the most desirable, that we understand. And again, what I keep repeating is that not everything you can question, and you may also disagree. But what I'm trying to impact is my own garden. This, where I can see that I can impact, I'm doing it. There is no point really to lose the energy for something you cannot change, right? So I think it's the healthiest approach ever, and which keeps me going for so many years. That just simply try to see what you can impact in your own garden, and that's why, again, in my function, we are doing so many things that makes us more, again, connected, wiser, more present, that we can exercise things that we do believe that they are worth doing and that they work for the people. And this will, it's enough to make you feel you busy. And yeah, try to focus on something that you can impact, and don't discuss something that you cannot. And you will be better off and healthier, I think.
What strategies do you employ as an HR professional to communicate and have your ideas heard by the business?
Very simple. Again, connecting. Meaning that, again, I don't believe that, writing long emails, highlighting in bold, something that matters will ever work. I mean, unless you are able to convey the message in person with the examples, people will not listen to you. And that's why we are doing a lot of course, of so-called jour fixe among the management here with the people, so-called open dialogues, as I was sharing. But again, I'm also a little bit egoistic in this, that I'm not very good, I would say, sharing the strategy. I mean, I'm more like doing stuff for singular individuals. I don't know if I'm expressing myself. I'll give you the example of the initiative that we launched. I mean, I launched it a few years ago in Poland. It was for females. Basically, the idea is that we are matching two ladies. It's kind of, I would say mentoring, but it's totally dedicated to the females, because again, research is showing that it's mostly us that are suffering from the imposter syndrome, that we are not applying for the jobs, or we are applying only if we have 100% and men 60%. So it was, again, so who needs more confidence? The research is showing that it's the female population. So that's why we started to matching them together. And the funny part is that you cannot apply to be so-called giver, so the one that is, sharing knowledge, experience, but you need to be nominated by other females. So, there is this element of recognition or giving feedback why I'm nominating you to the program. And again, we are doing it like more or less every year for 20, 30 people, couples. And, the moment that I've heard from one of the lady that this program helped her to believe in her authentic skills as a woman and makes her put her skills in the game, I said, I can die. I mean, I'm done. I mean, I finished what I had to do. What matters to me is really that, one person is happy, because one person will, drag somebody in and then it spreads. Yeah. So as I was saying, I was never working for big numbers, meaning I really don't care that much. Meaning, of course, it's huge happiness if 100 people are saying, yes, great program. But what in the end matters a lot is that even one is happier or more confident or more authentic. Because in fact, I think I fight a lot with this concept that, in order to be more powerful, or get to some positions, you need to be like a man. And I think it's never working, because, I will never be authentic being, strong or powerful and aggressive. It's not my style, and I don't believe it's going to work to anybody unless somehow you are born. Again, I don't want to say that you have to be aggressive, because again, I do believe that you should not, that there are different ways of conveying the messages and getting the things done. But what I try to promote a lot is to play with your strengths and what is authentic in you, because it's much more fun and it's closer to you, to your beliefs, and then it will make you more visible and powerful in the end in your own specific way.
How can HR collaborate to create competitive compensation, also benefits, to attract and retain top talents?
I'm not very, because again, when I'm looking at the benefits and, all the long list that HR is providing to the people, it's a little bit like when we are going to the event, when we are trying to, attract the colleagues, and we are having thousands of different gadgets. I don't want any gadget anymore. I just want to have a job that I can really put my skills in practice, and I will connect with the people, and I will do things that will make things for better. So I don't need any gadgets. I don't want to. So again, I'm talking about this because I think we are trying to, in various companies, we are competing, who is having the longer list of benefits and I don't believe in that anymore. Of course, I do believe that it should be customized, that people should have a chance to choose what they prefer, because somebody wants to go to the gym and somebody doesn't like the gym and prefers to, you know, to have the bus paid or something like this. So of course we should give the variety of this. But again, I would love to have this topic closed, like let's have the financial topic out of the table. And of course, this means pay well. And, you know, of course, Romania right now, and I think for many years, especially in the area that we are working in digital, which is the huge part of our colleagues, you know, the competition is incredible, right? There are no people. I mean, we are fighting for the same people. And, but what I believe is that, of course, the package should be, you know, competitive enough to look at us, but then what really matters is the, you know, the technology, the content, the people you are surrounded, and this is what we are trying to fight for, and make ourselves more known, and this is it. But again, definitely not adding more to the benefit list. I would say.
What recommendations would you give to help the children become more responsible adults and prepare them for future roles in the business world?
I think I mentioned this a little bit because somehow it was enlightenment to me when I arrived to this conclusion that we should play with our strengths. Meaning that you need to understand what your talent is, and it's very easy to understand what is your strength. There is also a survey or test you can do from Gallup when basically you are just simply asked, you know, what is your talent and what is the element that you are investing mostly your time. And I think the sooner you will understand this, the better. And I also experienced a little bit this, I was asking simply people I was working with in various workshops, if you know what are your talents. And sometimes people have kind of a difficulty to understand and to answer this question. So then I realized that, in fact, it is something that you should a little bit reflect on.
If you want to advance your career in HR, what kind of books, what kind of sources recommend?
I think I've never read like a book regarding, you know, HR world, but I think I keep feeding myself with various inspirations from various authors, and again, I do believe that you can never stop stealing from others. And I was studying sociology, so of course, I mean, I do adore the books that have research at the background and then some conclusions which guide a little bit our behaviors. That's why definitely I would recommend a book by Adam Grant, Originals. And because in fact it relates a little bit to the topic I was mentioning, that you should not only invest in your strengths at work, something that is related to your professional backbone, but you should also enrich yourself with various experiences not related necessarily with what you are doing on a daily basis. Why this? So Adam Grant in this book is referring to research on Nobelists, I mean scientific Nobelists like chemistry, physics, mathematicians, and he was trying to understand over the 100 years what made the difference. So why some of the Nobelists won a Nobel Prize and some didn't. And normally you would say, okay, probably they were smarter, they invested more time in their laboratories, maybe they had a better network somehow to promote their knowledge. But in the end, what really made the difference is that the ones that won the Nobel Prize were simply investing in various areas of creative job, meaning they were playing musical instruments, they were playing in theaters, they were writing novels, they were knitting. So all those elements, and why this? Because in fact, having this totally different skill that you also enriched, it's giving you simply different perspective and allows you to see things from the corner that for the others are not visible. And that really, you know, struck me because again, I see also benefits dealing with various people. Once they have this, variety of interests besides what they are doing, I mean, you can really see it, that they are also, more interesting interlocutors. It's also easier to communicate with them. I also talk this about reading books, that I do believe that this is something that enriches you enormously, not to mention that, of course, it helps you to practice your memory, empathy as well, because you need to put yourself into others' shoes. So then, it's also, this is the basis of the empathy. So definitely Adam Grant and originals. I love also a book by Kathy Milkman, How to Change, which gives you a lot of insights on, again, based on research, like for instance, a very simple one, watch out with whom you are dealing, meaning who are your friends and who are the people around you, because there is no way you will get something from them. And if it's not maybe the most desirable environment, you will, get through your skin their impact no matter what. So, and my lovely as well, that sometimes if you want to reach something, just say it loudly. So, because the fact that you say it and share it with the others gives you more probability that you will really do it, because you have the witnesses as well or testimonials. So again, it's not related to the HR world, but I think it's something that, again, it's very related to the behaviors and how you can enrich yourself. So hope you will enjoy reading any of those.
Thank you very much, Magda.
Thank you.
That was the end of another episode. What do you think? Did you find it insightful? Hit the like button, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Eucom Business Language. Stay tuned, because we have more exciting discussions coming your way soon. In each episode, we address practical topics in the business sphere that will inspire you to take your career to the next level. Have a nice one.